following podcast contains references to the consumption of alcohol. If you are not of legal drinking age, please do not consume alcohol. Also, if you are of legal drinking age, please drink responsibly.
Hi, welcome to Rhetorical Magic Cocktail Hour. My name is Ryan, and my favorite Sega game is...
Hold for applause.
No, because I forgot to look it up. So I'm going to say Mr. Eggman's Mean Bean, or whatever it's called.
Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine.
What about
I'm
you?
Matthew. And my favorite Sega game is obviously Shadow the Hedgehog. Hashtag early 2000s edgelord.
So this is a podcast where we like to sit down, have a drink, and try to be succinct about various topics. Matthew, what are you drinking this weekend?
So I'm drinking... Oh, wait. Yes? I'm getting word over my headset. It is in fact still Shandy Boy Summer.
Yeah.
Even though it's spring and 50 degrees out. So I'm drinking a nice Shandy.
Hell yes. Hashtag Shandy Boy Summer. We're ready.
All Shandies, all the time.
All Shandies, all summer.
What are you imbibing, Ryan?
I am drinking raspberry lemonade, within which I put vodka.
Ooh. Of Raz Vodka aid.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I also was wanting summer vibes. It's kind of dreary up here. So I was like, I'm just gonna ignore that and pretend that it's perfect weather and lemonade time.
Yep. It is summer, and we're gonna live it up. Hashtag summer vibes. Hashtag
Summer boys.
summer boys. Boys of summer. Hashtag Don Henley.
So this week we are going to be talking about the hit
A triumph of a film.
Sonic the Hedgehog. And I feel like triumph is kind of a strong word.
It happened.
I have watched it twice now in my adult life. And I still could not tell you the main character's name. Not Sonic, the human.
James Marsden.
I want to say it's Dan, but that also doesn't feel...
I think it's Tom. I've seen it once, and I looked up the Wikipedia, like, maybe an hour ago, because I was like, what happened in this movie?
Yeah, it's simultaneously a lot, while also being nothing, which I think is, like, an interesting dichotomy for a movie to be.
Mm-hmm.
Were you also confused with the bold choice to have Ben Schwartz just eating chili dogs for 20 minutes in the middle there?
I feel like that's a big part of the Sonic canon, that he loves chili dogs.
I would agree, but it wasn't Sonic eating the chili dogs. It was Ben Schwartz that they had painted blue, and he was just eating chili dogs and sobbing, saying, "This isn't part of the contract, this is just how I feel inside." And it went on for, like, a long time.
I think you and I watched different movies. I think maybe you watched the special director's cut. You watched the Snyder cut of Sonic the Hedgehog, where it's way too long, and there's a 20-minute sequence where Ben Schwartz just eats chili dogs.
Yeah, because, I mean, it was one of those, like, he came on screen and, like, he broke the fourth wall, and it was very weird at first, and he's like, hello, I'm Ben Schwartz. I'm the actor who voices Sonic the Hedgehog. And I was like, oh, good. Like, that's a nice reminder.
Mm-hmm.
When CGI is involved, you kind of forget. Like, you forget that there's a person behind that blue hedgehog. You just get so wrapped up in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And then he just started sobbing, and then just chili dogs. And it just wasn't, like, an attractive way to look at it either. It was just, like, the angle was really just, like, on his face, and it was just Ben Schwartz sobbing over chili dogs while consuming. And I just...
So would you say it's a very intimate angle that should not be employed?
I don't know if intimate is the right word. You know how we always joke about making, like, these crazy, grotesque, like, art, like, 90s New York street art performance pieces where it's, like, somebody eating. It was very much that, which felt just off in a kid's movie.
I would counter with, when is the best age to be thrust into the world of true art? And I think that's from a young age.
Oh, man. Yeah. I mean, you want your kid to be cultured. You're right.
Mm-hmm. I mean, if Sonic the Hedgehog is not the place to teach children about true art, then I don't know what is.
True art and capitalism. You brought up a very interesting thing that I would like to explore more. You did bring up the Zack Snyder cut. I like the idea.
love where this is going.
I like the idea of, like, whatever movie happens from now on, Zack Snyder just gets all the raw data and just gets to, like, mold it to whatever he wants it to be. So, like,
I also, like, you gotta allow him, like, 30 minutes of reshoots as well. Not, like, reshooting things that have already been shot, just extra things that, like, a 30-minute sequence of Sonic just straight up killing terrorists in a museum for some reason. That just needs to go in there right at the beginning, just to establish that Sonic's the hero.
But yeah, I love the idea of Zack Snyder just getting, like, every movie that comes out from now on. And honestly, even backtrack it. So, especially some of the movies we've talked about. Like, you cannot tell me that Zack Snyder's cut of Pride and Prejudice wouldn't be amazing.
So, I'm gonna say something very controversial here. Mm-hmm. I feel like he's already made his version of Pride and Prejudice. And that movie is called Guardians: The Legends of Ga'Hoole.
Is that a Zack Snyder movie?
It is, for some reason. It came out right, I believe it came out right between Watchmen and Sucker Punch.
Huh. I can see it.
I also believe I was mistaken. I believe it's Rise of the Guardians. The Legends of Ga'Hoole.
I like the Rise because it
Guardians
makes you think that there's gonna be more, but there just weren't.
Or is Rise of the Guardians the movie where it's like all the holiday people team up in an Avengers style movie? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I do. One of my college
That might
friends
be-
was Jack Frost for Halloween several times.
I thought you were going to say in the movie, and I was like, what? How have I never known about this?
Yeah, perfect. And the whole thing started because he found a stick in the woods that he really vibed with, and it kind of looked like the stick that Jack Frost used. It was a good time.
So he just worked backwards into the costume from that stick?
Yes. Yes. Matthew.
Ryan.
I By the way, listeners, if you haven't noticed, there will be some severe Sonic the Hedgehog spoilers. In fact,
Is there really that much to spoil, though?
This might be the most, like, current movie we've ever tried to talk about.
Mystery Man wasn't current.
You're right. It's 1999? Or was it 91? We got it wrong then.
It was one of those.
We're getting it wrong now.
Yeah, I forgot. It did come out, like, right at the end of the Before Times with Cats. Because I think Sonic and Cats kind of caused the end of the world. Do you remember that happening? Another movie that needs a Snyder cut, Cats.
That already exists. It's the butthole cut.
What if Zack Snyder went back through Wes Anderson's filmography and did Snyder cuts of all those? That would be wild. Or vice versa. The Wes Anderson cut of Justice League would be interesting.
Which would be more palatable, though? Like, do you want, like, an ultra gritty Royal Tannenbaums, or do you want, like, a soft boy Justice League?
So, palatable is an interesting word. If you mean, like, able to consume, I feel like Zack Snyder cut of Wes Anderson's films would be more palatable. But if you mean that I would want to watch, Wes Anderson cuts of Zack Snyder movies would be my choice. Because I feel like Zack Snyder understands, like, what sells. He doesn't necessarily understand, like, pace, but he can understand, like, oh, this will do big at the box office. But Wes Anderson is a little more, like, doing his own thing.
Yeah.
So it would be like putting Wes Anderson's films through, like, I don't want to say a bland filter, but you know what I mean?
A horror box.
A more like populist filter. Which would you rather watch?
Ooh. Neither.
How could you say something so controversial yet so bold?
I
don't think that's the quote.
I don't think that their visions mesh. I think that I just brought a hellscape upon this earth that I wasn't prepared to, and I feel bad about it.
I feel like they would complement each other very well, though. Because, like, this is not what this episode's about. We need to move on. We could talk about this later.
No, I want you to continue just for a minute. We've got time.
So, I feel like Wes Anderson's strengths are character and concise storytelling. And I feel like Zack Snyder's strengths are spectacle and cinematography. And I feel like if Wes Anderson could kind of rein Zack Snyder in, it would make a very interesting film. Like, visually, their styles do not mesh at all. Because Wes Anderson's very colorful and Zack Snyder's very gray. But imagine a shot of, like, I don't know, Aquaman is trying to trident dark side, but it's like Wes Anderson's color palette.
What if that movie already exists? And what if we've already talked about it? And what if it's Twilight?
Processing. I don't think so.
I do.
No, but...
All right.
To be honest, I don't remember that much about Twilight.
Which just means I get to make you watch it again.
No, we're watching New Moon this year,
Yes.
which is the one that everybody hates. So look forward to that.
It's not that bad. You'll be fine. So we're talking about Sonic. We got a little off the rails there.
What? That's never.
And just so that way I am able to grasp what I remember. And when I say I've watched it twice, I mean I literally started watching it like an hour and 45 minutes before we're supposed to record, and it's an hour and a half movie.
So you have just watched it.
I have just watched it for the second time.
I thought about doing that, but I was like, I get it. I'll Wikipedia it.
I didn't learn anything. So the first time I watched it, like I was kind of like doing stuff around my apartment.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, oh, I didn't really pay attention because like the first half and like where it ended, I didn't see the connect. So I was like, okay, I need to watch it like and focus. It still doesn't.
Yeah, I was like, I don't think there's like a magic ring that takes you from the first half to the second half that just kind of skips over a bunch of middle bits.
Mm-hmm. Also, why was his mom a bird?
I think that was his guardian. I don't think that was his mom.
That was another issue I had with this movie. I was hoping when we were going to get a Sonic movie, we were going to be digging into that gritty lore that we know is there.
Thanks to Brian David Gilbert. That is a question I wanted to ask you was, one, did you think that bird looked different than every other CGI animal in this movie? Like, it was weirdly realistic and all the other ones were cartoony?
Yes, I do. And I don't know what to add to that, but like the bird, it's like they took it out of that Guardians movie.
Yes, the Zack Snyder film Guardians, Legends of Gahul, something.
It's about birds who fly. Yeah, the mom was like weirdly realistic.
And then like that beginning was weirdly like, we need to give him a tragic backstory or else nothing's gonna, like, what matters. So they just kill off his mom?
Yeah, but also, could it have just as easily been, like, he was, like, running through, found a bag of golden rings, chucked them, and then fell through the hole, and then wound up, like, I mean, they didn't have to kill the bird mom.
Mm-hmm.
Did they refrigerator a bird?
Yes.
Or does it have to be a love interest? I don't remember the exact definition of refrigerating.
I think it's just killing a female character to forward a male character's storyline.
Okay.
So I would say yes, they refrigerated that bird. My second question in response to that is, did they have to set it in the real world? Because I don't think I've ever seen any Sonic media that has been set on our Earth.
If you want to ground it in reality, which when you're making a movie about a glowing, fast hedgehog, I don't know why you wouldn't ground it in reality.
Fair point. I concede.
I don't remember. So I'm going to try and piece together like what happens in the movie. And
so you're going to do the just disjointed Matthew recap of this episode.
I'm going to try. So it starts out with refrigerating the bird.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's Baby Sonic, which has potentially the most normal proportions of the whole movie, as far as like a little CGI critter.
Yeah, I just remember him being like normal Sonic, but small. But I guess his legs and arms are a little
His legs
smaller.
were more close to his body.
He's a little more of a doughy friend.
And he gets thrown into the ring, tragic. And then he just like grows up. Like he just starts hanging out. I also don't know the lifespan of Sonic, so I don't really know how much time passed. I don't think it was a ton, but enough for his legs to come in, so that's good.
His legs to come in. That's what I'm going to call growing up from now on. It's like, oh, your legs are real coming in. Anytime I see a child, it's like, oh, looks like his legs are coming in. And everybody's just going to be like, what are you talking about?
And then you meet the sheriff named Dan.
Mm-hmm. Donut Lord.
Donut Lord, who tries to speed trap a turtle.
Mm-hmm.
And then you find out that
does happen.
Sonic has been stalking Donut Lord and Pretzel Wife. Sonic has a very interesting relationship with food.
Because he's always hungry because his metabolism's so fast.
Well, that. Also, why were those, like, the first, like, he couldn't think to, like, listen into their conversation to, like, at some point in their relationship, she probably was like, hey, Dan, and he was like, hello, wife, whose name I remember.
Maddie, according to Wikipedia.
Thank you. It's like, he didn't have to call them Pretzel Lady and Donut Lord. Also, is it sexist that he didn't give the woman an honorific, like Lord?
That's a big question for this movie about a blue hedgehog.
What this podcast presupposes is it's not that deep. So you get introduced to them. Donut Lord Dan gets a promotion in San Francisco, which I feel like was a choice. I don't know what drew them to that place, but it did.
I feel like they wanted to... There's a movie called Bullet in San Francisco where they do a bunch of car chases.
Okay.
And I feel like their thought process was, let's do an homage to that. But I don't know that it ever really pays off, so maybe that wasn't their thinking. Maybe the tech industry had a big hand in this movie.
And then Sega. And then Maddie makes 2 cakes. One says congratulations, one says screw those jabronis.
Verbatim, yes.
And then you find out the first of several product placements, which was Zillow.com. And then very shortly after, they did mention the Olive Garden.
Mm-hmm.
Including the tagline, when you're here, you're family.
And if this movie is not about family, I don't know what is.
And then Sonic runs really fast around a baseball field and he scores all the points.
Mm-hmm.
But they celebrate by creating a power outage. Because
They celebrate by creating.
Because he's electric.
Beautiful phrasing.
Thank you. And then Jim Carrey comes in and is a lot. He's a lot in this movie.
He is.
I don't like every Jim Carrey movie. In fact, I pretty much only like the one.
Which is?
The Grinch.
The Grinch. Oh, okay. I thought maybe you meant... I forgot he was in The Grinch for a second. I thought you meant Batman Forever? Is that the one he's in?
I don't know. That was a bold character outfit for him then, too, huh?
The question mark onesie. It was the 90s. We were doing stuff. It didn't always work. It doesn't always age well, but it was the 90s.
Jim Carrey comes in and he wants Sonic's raw power, that chili dog power.
Yep.
And then they do take a break, and that's when the Ben Schwartz scene comes into play for about 20 minutes, which I thought was weird for an hour and a half movie, but I went with it.
Again, I think we watched different cuts.
We didn't. We watched the same movie. And then it came back, and then they were in, like, this weird... I don't want to say weird. They were in, like, this biker-esque bar, but it was a bunch of, like, old cars with flames shooting out of it.
Mm-hmm.
I also missed a lot, I feel like, but we're just gonna keep going.
I don't think you did. I think you did miss the part where James Marsden shoots Sonic, and Sonic loses all his rings to San Francisco.
That does happen.
Which is the reason why they're on a road trip.
Yeah, it does.
But I mean, other than that,
you
hit the high points.
They see the biggest rubber band ball ever. They go to the biker bar, and it has a Quicksilver from that one X-Men movie-esque scene where Sonic slows everything down and then fucks up a bunch of stuff. Mm-hmm. That was fun. They bring up chili dogs again, but this time it is CGI Sonic. And then it is just kind of like a road trip movie, but worse.
Yeah, there's a lot of scenes of them driving cars while robots shoot at them.
Yeah.
And then they think they've beat the robots, and then...
You never
oh
beat
no,
the
another
robots.
smaller robot shoots out of that robot. And Sonic dies like 3 times.
Sonic does die a lot. I did like the part where the little girl gave him the new shoes. That was a sweet moment.
I do remember that, now that you say that. I was like, what?
So Sonic dies, and then Dan the Donut Man and Maddie and Maddie meet up at their sister's house with half-dead Sonic. And then they give him smelling salts, which I realized I don't actually know what's in smelling salts.
Magic.
Magic, yes.
Plot magic.
Because that makes Sonic just, like, bounce off the walls. Literally. And then there's a lot of running through San Francisco. And he gets ready to, like, throw the ring to Mushroom Land, but it hits a robot because it's robot in robot in robot forever. It's robots all the way down.
Robot Inception.
Robotception. And then there's, like, a big chase scene. And then... do they end up back in the old place, Matthew?
Can I ask you one question real quick about that chase scene?
Yes.
So they go from San Francisco to Paris, to China, to Egypt, to Montana. It's daytime in San Francisco, Paris, China, and Egypt, but nighttime in Montana. How? Did they run so fast they, like, broke the flow of time? Because, like, all those places are not on the same latitude.
No, they're not.
So it can't be day in all of them.
Does Sonic break the time stream? Is that what you're asking?
I guess so. Because, like, the big reveal of the end is... somehow Jim Carrey has harnessed Sonic's quill to move faster than normal. Mm-hmm. So he can chase Sonic in slow-mo.
Yeah.
But,
and then Sonic throws one big final ring. Jim Carrey goes through it.
Mm-hmm.
And Dan the Donut Man decides to stay in his original hometown.
Mm-hmm. The true rings were the friendship we found along the way.
They were. It was great. It was a good movie, and I'm glad that I've wasted now 3 hours of my life.
That's almost the Snyder cut.
Watching it.
But yeah, I would say that's a pretty concise retelling of the classic tale of Sonic the Hedgehog, the movie. I don't know if you care, but I did look up what's in smelling salts, and it's Imodium, or it's not Imodium. That's anti-diarrhea medicine. It's ammonium carbonate. So ammonia and carbon?
All right. Radical. I don't know why that
Radical.
makes you go crazy, but it sure did for
I
Sonic.
feel like ammonia has a very strong scent to it.
Yeah,
So.
I could see that. So Matthew, what would you say was the best scene in Sonic?
So I'm gonna preface this with I can't remember it. I think it was Sonic. I watched about an hour of it, and I was like, I don't know if I can do this, and I stopped. And then I came back and watched the later half. Now, when I started the later half, it was maybe the good part of the movie, without all the exposition that maybe didn't need to happen. And there was a beautiful moment in this film where a hedgehog, a blue CGI hedgehog played by Ben Schwartz, flosses. And I don't remember when it happens, but it happens twice.
It does happen twice.
And it was the peak of Western art. Everything from here is downhill. And that was the best scene of the movie for me. Ryan, counterpoint.
No counterpoint. I appreciate your input, and I'm glad that was your favorite scene. When you first, because I was on the receiving, I had watched Sonic, and then you were watching it, and I was getting updates of your time throughout the movie through text from you.
Mm-hmm.
There was one point where you did text me, this movie is the greatest, Sonic is flossing, and my geriatric ass was like, I don't remember him cleaning his teeth, but I didn't want to argue it, so I was like, hell yeah. And it took me longer than I would like to admit to realize that you meant the modern Fortnite dance. Is it a Fortnite dance?
It's in Fortnite. I don't know if it originated in Fortnite. I, too, am an old.
But then I realized, and again, it was reiterated, like I realized before I watched it again, but it was reiterated when I did see him dancing.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, that's what he meant, and I remember. My favorite scene...
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I think I hated it up until that moment.
Yeah, it wasn't great. I don't know that I would watch it again. My favorite scene was, and I need you to play along with me for a minute, the end credits.
Play in my space.
Come play with me. The end credits, where it is just Sonic running through, and he basically covers the whole movie. So I feel like if you don't actually want to watch Sonic, but you want to know, like, the main points, just watch the end credit scene. There won't be any dialogue. But you can see Sonic running through every bit that happens.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, speaking of the credits, were you as excited as everybody else on the world when Tails showed up at the end?
I was. Let's get back to that in a minute, and let's go to a quick hydration station. Hydration station.
Hello?
Hello.
And welcome to Hydration Station. Part of the show where we drink some water, because...
Ryan's a little
It's
drunker than she
important.
should be at 5:30 in the afternoon.
Oof. Drink your water, eat your vitamins, clean your room, do the dishes, take out the dishes. Do you remember that Vine? Was that a Vine? I think it was Cole Hirsch.
Cole Hirsch?
Is
Oh,
that his name?
yeah. He scares me now.
He's stressful. He's always kind of stressed me out.
Yeah.
And that was Hydration Station.
Hydration Station. So yes, at the very end of the movie, they did incorporate a second CGI'd animal who is looking for Sonic.
Miles, Tails, Prowler.
Power.
Because it's miles per hour is the joke.
Oh, I hate that. I don't know that I knew that. And I'm not a fan. Yes, which leads me to the question, and I would like to pick your brain about it, Matthew. What do you think is next for the SCU? And I do, of course, mean the Sonic Cinematic Universe.
And not the Snyder Cinematic Universe.
Not the Snyder Cinematic Universe.
So, if we're going by the game logic, I believe maybe Knuckles is going to be in the next one.
As the bad guy?
I think so. I think he starts out as a bad guy. Gonna be honest, not a big Sonic guy. Don't like platformers, and Sonic moves too fast to control. Not fun. But, and I assume Tails is gonna be up in the mix. But if we're talking about my little early 2000s edgelord heart, you gotta get Shadow in there. He's edgy, he uses guns, he plays... His game has like a Tony Hawk soundtrack playing over it. You fight demons.
Do you think they're gonna bring them all in all at once, all that fast?
You gotta go fast.
You're right.
That's the conceit of the films. Probably not. I mean, there's no way they're gonna do Big the Cat in the next movie. Who's just a big cat. But I mean, I don't know.
How many movies do you see them getting?
At least 9. At least like Fast and the Furious.
I can't tell if you're serious or not.
Part joking, part serious, just knowing how movies work.
Oh man. I was surprised when they set it up, because I feel like that's like tacked on at the end so that way they could cut it if they weren't going to get a second one.
Kind of like Nick Fury at the end of the first Iron Man. Or it's just like, this could be the Avengers, but if not, then it's just Nick Fury showing up.
And so them leaving it in there felt like a device, like they're at least getting a second one.
I think a second one has been greenlit and is in production.
Oof. Oofa doofa.
But who would you want to see most?
Obviously Rouge the Bat. Why is
I
that
don't
a
know
question?
why I asked. Obviously. What about Cream and Cheese?
I don't remember them. All I remember are the girl ones, and that's Amy and Rouge the Bat are the only ones that I remember.
I think Cream's a girl, but I don't know for sure.
That's an unfortunate name.
So they could do cream cheese.
I get it.
I'm not 100% on the Sonic mythos, though, so...
I'm not either, and that's what, like... I have a feeling that since we're starting this out, like, you can't start out with an origin story too much, because, like, people just... They get bored with it. So they gotta play it out a few, and then we're gonna get, like, a Sonic Origins. Like, this is the start of Sonic the Hedgehog. And all the creepy little rat creatures.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm trying to remember anything about Sonic.
There's
I remember the quilting circle. Yeah.
When the sequel comes out, are we going to watch it?
I mean, we gotta.
Gotta go fast, gotta watch that movie.
The only reason we really watched this one was to make the joke about Sonic head on Tom Hopper body in the title, but I mean, we're in it now, so we might as well.
Might as well commit to the bit.
It's hard to think up episode topics.
It is. I would like to round out this episode by talking about one thing that I did not enjoy about the movie. And that...
Jim Carrey.
No, he was neutral at worst. I didn't like that the animators changed the aesthetic of Sonic. That is a hill I will die on. I wanted Steve Buscemi Sonic, and they didn't give me Steve Buscemi Sonic.
So that would be your Snyder cut, is just everything but with the original Sonic design.
Yeah, it would just be the original Sonic design. I don't really know enough to change the rest of the movie. But my god, it was so beautiful. And then they let Twitter bully them into changing it. It's like, if you made an artistic choice, stick with it. I'm also, however, one of the people who does believe that they should not have taken the buttholes out of cats. If they put it in there the first time, and they spent time rendering assholes on every single fucking cat, they should have left it in there.
I feel like that's less on the animators and more on, like, the production team, because the animators probably had to work, like, overtime removing those buttholes.
That's what, I'm not complaining about the animators at all. It is 100% the production team's decisions.
Yeah, so
the animators are gods. I mean, they are putting stuff out. Like, I could not have created...
Only God can make that butthole version of cats.
So yeah, it's not a dig to animators at all. Like, they're amazing. The craft that they do is art. It's just the production team falling to bullying and then ultimately making their lives harder, because not only did they have to render a butthole on a cat, they then had to unrender a butthole on a cat in a way that didn't like play off as like there was definitely an asshole here.
Why is that one small patch of fur so different?
Oh man. But yeah, no, I wanted Steve Buscemi Sonic more than anything, and then I didn't get it. What is one thing you didn't like about the Sonic movie?
I think I already said Jim Carrey. He just doesn't work in the film. Oh, I will say, I forget if we've said our favorite parts, but my second favorite part of the film, just to throw this in at the end, is at the end of the movie, like, so basically the whole movie, the U.S. government has terrorized Donut Lord, and at the end of the film, they have, like, the audacity to be like, everything's forgiven, right? Here's a $50 Olive Garden gift card. And it's like, they've got endless pasta.
But I feel like if you're working with the government...
it's a beautiful allegory for the United States government.
Yeah.
Just being like, hey, we screwed up your life, but here's a $50 Olive Garden gift card. This fixes everything, right?
Oh, man. You're not wrong. So the absolute last thing I would like to ask you, because we have been introduced to a new baby version of a grown-up thing in a movie.
Mm-hmm.
Where does Sonic fall on the Baby Grinch, Baby Yoda continuum?
So I feel like our continuums are different, so it's gonna... My answer is not gonna make sense on your continuum. But I feel like it falls maybe 2 steps away from Baby Yoda in terms of great baby.
Okay.
But I feel like our continuums are like mirrored.
Uh-oh.
So on yours, it would be like 2 steps away from Baby Grinch. And we've frozen.
I would actually... Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. I would actually put Baby Sonic closer to the baby from the movie or the show The Dinosaurs. The Not the Mama Baby.
I'm the baby, yeah.
I'm the baby, not the mama. He's close to that. Cute, but in a way that you're just kind of like, I don't like looking at it for too long.
Something is wrong here.
There's something...
The uncanny valley of the cuteness.
Yeah, there's something off about this. Which is probably
But we can...
closer to... I would put him pretty in the middle. I don't
We
think
can all
Baby
agree
Yoda's the
he's
worst.
better than... No, Baby Vision is the worst.
Baby
You
Vision
remember
is
Baby
the
Vision?
worst. They just painted a real baby and that was horrendous.
So we can all agree, better than Baby Vision. But that's not saying much.
Alright, so this has been Rhetorical Magic Cocktail Hour.
My has the time flown.
Wow, wow, wow. If you are up for it, follow us on socials at Rhetorical Magic.
Mm-hmm.
You can find me at Queer Mothra on Twitter, and you can find Matthew at RMCH
I believe so.
So follow us, let us know how things are going. You can also email us at rhetoricalmagiccocktailhour@gmail.com. In retrospect, the worst possible email I could have picked, but it's fine. We're here.
So long.
We're living with it. Every time I type it in, my heart dies a little. It's great.
Yeah, so send us some good Sonic head on Tom Hopper's body photoshops to that email.
Or even just, like, send us your Sonic Sona. I'm ready for it.
Oh,
I want your Sonic OCs
That's a big...
in my inbox.
That's a big one.
I'm ready. Make me regret asking a question.
Please no chili dogs in the fan art.
Please no chili
You
dogs.
know what I mean.
So be good to one another. Have a good day, and as we say at the end of every episode, clink, clink, clink.
That was
We can get it in post. Anyway.
Can we just start calling director's cuts Snyder cuts?
Yeah, I'm ready.